Guys, we're back with another episode of Solekted TV, season 3. We are here today. I keep saying it. I should stop saying it because people tell me off and they never like to admit it. But I feel like I'm here again with another celebrity in the building. I know she's going to deny it. But guys, we've got Titi Finlay in the house today. What's going on, Titi? Welcome to Solekted.
To be here, yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really happy to be here.
What a pleasure. I feel like, honestly, like the guests that are coming into this season, I'm just not starstruck, but yeah, I'm so overwhelmed. I wanted to, of course, firstly say amazing work I know we're going to get to it, guys, but a really, really well done for your gallery. I know we had a little bit of a chat before we got started. A massive congratulations on the gallery.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely amazing. Now, of course, Titi, this is a sneaker show, or a show all about sneakers. So the question I'm going to ask you, that I ask everyone, is, tell us about yourself and how did you get into sneakers?
So I am from Scotland originally, and I moved to London probably just over 10 years ago.
Wow.
And when I first came here, I came from a really rural village in Scotland.
Yeah.
So there's not really like sneaker culture. At the time, there certainly wasn't, because like Instagram wasn't really a thing back then.
Yeah.
So it was like no one really knew about it. And I was always really into footwear, and I used to like collect shoes, and it was always like skate shoes. Or, like, I don't know, like I would always display them on shelves in my room. And this was before I even knew what sneakers culture or sneaker collecting was. Like, I didn't have access to any of that information. It was just almost like this weird like habit that I'd formed. And so then when I came to London, I've immediately became privy to like London fashion scene, the streetwear scene, the sneaker scene, and like this was like I think about 2014, so it was really in the time when like hype culture was only just in its inception. So it was like Supreme was just coming up and like all of that, like before it got crazy. And I just remember it being a really exciting time, and like coming here and being like, wow, I want to work in this, I want to like consume this. I was so broke at the time, I couldn't afford any shoes, so I was just like consuming it online and like going into Soho whenever I could and like watching people in their street style, and that's kind of like where the love started, I guess. And then obviously when I started to like, the reason I moved to London was to kind of work in a creative career. And I got a big culture shock when I came here, realizing that I didn't know anyone, I didn't have enough money to like do any of the things I wanted to do, didn't have any connections in the creative world. I just knew that I wanted to work in sneakers and fashion, and that was like the sort of North Star for me for a long time. So I just kind of like made that wherever I was. I eventually started interning. I worked in restaurants for a long time, like literally like worked so many jobs to kind of subsidize interning, and like I would reach out to like random people that I followed online to see if they would like let me assist them, and like so like even just like give me any information about the industry, because I just didn't know how else to do it. So it was like cold calling people all the time until I got a foot in the door, basically. And then with every job that I got, so I like did assisting for like stylists, and then went to work as a copywriter at ASOS. So then I worked in the ASOS social media teams, and like throughout everything that I did, I kept making it like clear to whoever I was working with that sneakers and streetwear were like my big passions. And eventually my boss at ASOS gave me a shot to run the sneaker content for the social team. So like started presenting this it was like IGTV, so amazing. Remember that? The old days.
The old days.
And we used to do a weekly show called Sneakers in 60 Seconds that I would present every week, and that's kind of like when I started really getting my hands on product and really learning about like the design and materials and just everything, like the heritage of a shoe, and really started to appreciate it even more. So that was kind of like where it kind of took off. And then while I was doing that, I was also sort of building my own Instagram profile and trying to like talk about sneakers more and just kind of build up my confidence to be able to speak about sneakers online, because again at this time there wasn't that many women in the space speaking about sneakers, so I didn't really have anyone to look to, and so that was kind of a bit daunting. And I remember like spaces like the basement was like really daunting to be a girl in that space, and so I was just kind of like building up the confidence, I guess, until I started speaking about sneakers more, and made it my job, and then it's definitely like still connected with everything that I do.
No,
as a
absolutely.
creative director and artist now. So yeah.
Oh God, what a journey!
Yeah.
So coming from Scotland, so was London always the goal for you?
Honestly, not really. I think I kind of left. I went to art school in Scotland, and I left art school with like no plan really, other than to be an artist. And it just so happened that like some people I went to school with had a flat here, and they were like, "We've got a spare room. Do you want to move down?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah,
I don't know what else to do with my life, so I guess I'll move to London.
Amazing.
Like, obviously came here and was like, "Shit, I have to pay rent."
No.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, of course, please be free.
I like just the shock of like having to pay rent in London and like realizing like, oh my God, like how am I going to survive this? But it's like it really humbled me.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think,
I'm sure people
some people that don't live in London have an idea, but it's kind of like it doesn't really hit you until it hits you. Definitely. I can understand that 100 million %. So of course we're keeping with traditions, and one thing I again, if you've been watching from season 1, you know, thank you very much if you've been watching from season 1. We are going to continue with traditions in terms of, I always tell my guests to bring in a favourite shoe of theirs. I can see it in the corner of my eye already. Yes. I see the colours. Guys, I know every guest that comes on, I know you're watching the previous episode to see what did that person bring. Because I have a feeling sometimes that everyone's trying to like, okay, what should I bring? But I'm really always happy with the variety. You guys are keeping with the variety. Yeah. Absolutely love it. Yeah. So I'm going to get you to grab your pair that you brought with you. And if you would like to tell our lovely viewers what pair you have and why you've decided to bring this pair with you.
Yeah, so this is the Air Max BW Beijing exclusive. Ooh. It's got the little Beijing on the back. And there's a couple of reasons why this is one of my favourite shoes. I think the first one is when I first saw it, when I was like delving into like really old Air Max research, because I'm a bit of a nerd, so I was like, used to, like why not? When I got into sneakers, it was like, as every sneakerhead is basically. But like when I got into sneakers, I think like I was really like interested in the very early line of Air Max, like the ones, the 90. So I feel like the Air Max 1, the 90, the 95, the 97, they're all spoken about so much, and then the BW kind of gets lost in the ether a little bit. Yeah. Sort of underrated pair.
Yeah, I think BWs, they come in and out. Yeah. And I feel like some are like I don't really see, I guess, the kind of the newer modern day sneakerhead really talking about the BWs. It's always, I always feel it's like the kind of OG-ish, or those that really appreciate trainers really talking about BWs, but I agree, completely underrated pair. That colour, as soon as you brought them in, I was like, look, I cannot wait for her to talk about this pair. Like, honestly, the colours on that
the colour's perfect. And originally, because what happened, the story with this particular release was, it was back in 2021 when they re-released all the BWs.
Yes, yeah.
They did the city pack, so it was like...
Yeah, I wanted the Rotterdam ones.
And then obviously this was the Asia exclusives, so these weren't available in the UK, and then they released the Persian Violets, but they didn't release them in women's sizes, which I was gutted about, because I was like, at this point, I've been talking about it.
Honestly.
I've been speaking with the Nike design teams, like, I used to speak with them, like, I mean, I still do from time to time, but like, we were really like talking about the BW. And I was like, guys, I can't wait. I can't believe you're bringing out the Persian Violets. And then they never came in women's sizes. And then apparently, I think they said something like, it's to do with, like, they did have them produced, but like, it depends what area of the world like their merchandising teams buy, and the UK never bought into the smaller sizes of the Persian Violet. So I missed out on them, and I was so upset. And then this pair, actually, I got them as a gift because from the head of Nike Women's design, footwear design, which I'm sure he won't mind me saying now a couple of years later. I don't think he's supposed to.
Hopefully not.
But Sam Remblin, who works out of the Paris or the Amsterdam office, I can't remember. But anyway, me and him used to chat like constantly about upcoming footwear and stuff, and like as a thank you for doing that, he basically sent these to me as a surprise. He got them he literally had to get them like a friend in Hong Kong to like ship them across to like someone else and like somewhere, like it was crazy.
It went like
and it was like around the world. And then they just showed up at my door one day and I was like, oh my god. And this was the one pair that I was like, the brown is just so stunning, but also like they've got the little gold detailing on the front that says it's 1991, which is the year I was born. And I was like, this is
amazing.
just
those were made for you.
Yeah, literally.
Those were made for you. Like they were supposed to arrive.
Yeah.
I'm sure it stopped in about 6-7 different places, but it made it, and absolutely. Yeah. But I'm gonna say it. You know what? I haven't actually, said this, guys. I've been trying to, be impartial, should I say? This is probably. I'm gonna say it, guys. This is one of my favorite special pairs to date in all the episodes that I filmed. I'm not even just saying that. Amazing. I think really they are like, I have very little to say. Like, it's absolutely a delight to look at. I think the colour, the placement, even the fact that it's a BW, like, it's definitely not a pair that I myself would gravitate to immediately, but as soon as you brought them in, honestly, I'm just like,
they're stunning.
And then
the leather
even just the story of how you got them as well. I'm sorry, she's taking the crown. Guys, I've said it. It's going to be hard to top this one. I'm saying that. But really, really amazing pair, honestly. And I'm sure you cherish those
100%.
being gifted. And unless someone else out there is a super BW lover in the UK, you're probably one of the few people that may have that pair as well. So that probably makes it
I think
more
just like
special.
the story of how I came to get them is like what makes them so special to me, and the fact that they are so rare. And just so beautifully executed.
Honestly,
they're amazing. A pair for life.
They are, definitely.
This is why you get. I think this is what I love about sneaker culture the most. Yeah. Like the stories of how you came to get a pair. And the more lengths you go to get them,
100%.
the more special that it is. So,
honestly, for certain pairs, I think some of us have gone through the trenches.
Yes.
But even honestly, I'm sure we most of us have been through hell and back to get the pairs. But I think even just getting those gifted as well, especially with like your connection to Nike and again that whole feeling of the sizing and wanting that pair, and it didn't come out in our size, but then I think this is this is not even consolation at this point. This was like, you know what, I deserve these. Well done on that. Absolutely amazing. So Titi, again, I've introduced a game this season, so I've tried to make the show a little bit fun. So we're going to play a game called This or That.
Nice.
So for those that don't know the rules of This or That, we're trialing it, guys. Let me know if you're not a fan of This or That, but I love it, so we're here. So the rules, of course, I'm just going to throw a couple comparisons at you.
Okay.
And very simply, you're just going to tell me which one you prefer.
Okay.
Okay? You up for the challenge?
I'm up for it.
Cool, let's go. So, first one I'm going to ask you is JD Sports or SNS?
SNS.
Okay, cool. Nike or Adidas?
I'm gonna have to say Nike for sure. Yeah.
Not biased at all, guys.
I appreciate Adidas, but Nike.
Love that. Cool. So probably know the answer to this. Air Max 90s or Air Max 95s?
I've been asked this before, and that's a really hard one.
Okay.
Because I also designed a 90 and I love 90s.
Okay.
I would say the two of them are my favourite, but I'll probably say 95s.
95s.
Yeah.
Cool. A brand we haven't spoken about, but New Balance 1906s or New Balance 2002Rs?
Ooh. Probably... I think the 2002Rs. Yeah.
Next one I'm going to ask you is Sean Wotherspoon Air Max 1s or the Atmos Elephant Air Max 1s?
Oh, God. That's a really hard one. I think I want to say the Elephant purely because they're more iconic to me. Yeah. They're both iconic, but... I think if I was to have the choice, I'd probably wear the Elephant pair more.
Next one is Air Max 97 Silver Bullets or the Metallic Golds?
Silver Bullets.
Silver Bullets.
I do like both, but
I agree.
Yeah.
Did you get a pair in the re-release?
No, and I was going to, but the quality wasn't great.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And guys, you can't do that to Titi. She's a quality girl.
I'm going to be on it.
You gotta be. She's on it. Next one we've got is the Adidas Wells Bonner Sambas, any colourway, or the Adidas Handball Specials, any colourway.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna say the Wales Bonners.
Do you have a pair?
I don't.
I really wanted those silver ones, I'm not going to lie to you. They are really cool. Next one we've got is Puma Fenty Creepers or the Puma Avanti Fenties.
Ooh. Maybe the creepers. I feel like they're
creepers?
like
I think
more iconic.
I think the creeper. I think when those creepers came out, oh my god, it was like whirlwind. Like honestly, crazy. Very random but unpopular one. Crocs or foam runners?
Oh god.
I love that one.
I think
or neither.
I think I probably it depends, because I have a pair of like Croc boots that Crocs actually sent me.
Okay.
Because I did like some like design like consultancy stuff with them, and I love my Croc boots.
Okay.
Everybody else that I know hates them. They think that I look like a little cartoon character in them. So I love them. It just depends what kind of Crocs it is.
But I still to this day don't own a pair of Crocs, but I do have a foam runner, so I can't really compare. But I heard Crocs comfort levels are up there.
They are up there.
Cool. I'm going to take that one. Cool. Air Jordan 1s or Air Jordan 3s?
Oh my god. I think 3s for me.
3s?
Because 1s I love, obviously. Everyone does. But again, because they're quite like a flat shoe.
Yeah.
They look, I don't love them. Like I've only ever had a couple of pairs.
Yeah.
And I don't love the way they look on me, whereas like 3s I love like the chunkiness of them and rounded toe box.
I'm seeing a theme here. I'm seeing a theme here, guys.
I love
definitely.
a chunky
Love it. Cool. And last but not least, just obviously we've come out of Air Max month, but the Air Max 186 Royal Blue, so the ones that have come this year, or the Air Max 186 OG Reds, so the ones that came last year.
I think the blue.
The blue?
I think, or I don't know.
No,
I'm gonna do the blue.
The blue?
Yeah,
I know
they're both so like insanely cool. Yeah.
Amazing. You got through your this or that. Guys, get in the comments. Let us know if you agree. Do you agree with Titi in her answer to this or that? Get in those comments and let us know. So I know you touched on art, and I know you just mentioned that you studied art in Scotland.
Yeah.
So that leads obviously on to my next question. So I think I first stumbled across you when you were kind of creating prints or certain prints online. So a lot of it was around sort of, I guess, what I'm always kind of, I think I've actually mentioned you in previous shows where I'm like, this is a lady called Titi, and she's always kind of fighting the fight, I guess, for just kind of the consumers in terms of sizing, so that you've put out a lot of campaigns around, you know, making smaller sizes and just making trainers gender neutral. So how did you kind of come up with that, or what kind of led to you kind of creating that, I guess, campaign in a sense? What kind of led to that?
I mean, it was definitely came from a personal experience and frustration, being someone who is a UK4 and not being able to get shoes in my size, but also coming up in that era before there was like so many women online speaking about sneakers, and kind of just feeling that real exclusion and imposter syndrome being in that space. So there was a lot of different elements of frustration that kind of, it really like caused this like fire in my belly to be like, why, like, we need to speak about this more. And it just so happens that for me, I'm a designer and an artist, so I'm able to like create graphics, but also I was a copywriter, so like I know how to write snappy statements that kind of speak to what people would kind of want to say. So it's not that like other people weren't saying it, it's just that publicly, like, I think I gave them that sort of tool to just like, I created the thing for people to be able to share and be like, I feel this as well. But it just kind of came from personal experience, and then what really amplified it was I was chosen to do I was one of the 20 people who did the Nike by You Air Max project.
Nice.
I think anyone could apply for it, I'm pretty sure. So like you had to apply, you got like 200 words to say what you would make your shoe about, and mine, I was like, I want to make mine for the female sneaker community in London, and as part of, I got picked, which was insane.
Amazing.
So like that kicked off like all of the journey with Nike, but like as part of that campaign, again, because I have like a marketing and design background, I was able to really like market that shoe in a way, like we got full control over how we marketed it. So like I created all the posters, all the graphics, all the videos, everything for it. And one of the graphics I created was the first one, it was sneaker culture is often seen as a boys' club, but we're changing that.
Love that.
And that was like one of the big slogans for the shoe, and it got shared like so many times, and it really made me realize that like so many people were out there were feeling the same as me,
absolutely,
and there was a need for this stuff to be said. So then that's when I kind of started creating more, and it was all they all came from things that like I'd had personal experience with and just felt annoyed about. And then just made like a nice looking graphic.
I love that.
I think like I deliberately didn't put my name on it or anything, so I wanted it to be something that like people could post on their own Instagrams and own it themselves and feel like
it definitely was all over Instagram. Like I think I definitely saw your art before I saw you as a person, because I think it did spread like wildfire at a point, and definitely. I think the statements, people felt it. I definitely felt it. It was just like you said, things that are in our head that we may have experienced. That it's like, okay, we're saying it, but maybe we're saying it, you know, amongst us and not really kind of putting it out there. And I think the way you put it out there in the most artistic and colourful way as well, love it, absolutely loved it. Such a brilliant concept, and I'm sure that's probably why, you know, Nike probably thought this is genius. I probably, when we're talking about, and this is me being honest, when we're talking about sizing and equality, and your name always comes up. Like if it's not me that says it, somebody else says, you know, Titi, I know she's a good friend of mine, that she's always kind of putting things out there. Like everyone kind of, you know, knows about your art, so it definitely had an impact. I'm sure, absolutely. Question I always ask: is there obviously we all love our trainers? Is there a particular pair that kind of hit you and you thought, okay, I'm in, I love it?
What
was the pair?
I remember it so well. It was literally a pair of suede bone coloured Air Max 95s. They were a GR, literally sitting on the shelf in JD Sports.
Wow,
it was the first pair. Like it was like, I think it was like one of the first pairs I bought when I was in London, and I'd saved up for ages because, again, I literally had no money at the time. So, like, that's why they were all so special. I was like, I worked for these. And
absolutely.
I remember just like seeing, like, I think Air Max 95s were the first pair, like, just the silhouette and the chunkiness of them, and like then delving into like the history of them. Like, they just really spoke to me, and like that was, that really started it for me. And then I think that's why I'm such an Air Max fan in general, because that's kind of,
you know what, I'll be honest, I do hear, it's not like I don't hear many women talking about the 95s, but I don't though. I feel like I don't really, I think a lot of women kind of like the other silhouettes. I hear the other silhouettes a little bit more, like the ones, you know, 97s, different types of silhouettes, but 95, see, that's quite refreshing to hear that you said the 95s, honestly, because I normally like hear the guys say that, and I was like, no, it's actually quite a nice show. And I know with our small feet, it always looks quite, I love a 95, honestly.
It's nice chunky.
Very chunky, but very small. There's a way it looks, guys, the small feet people, you understand. But I do love a 95, and definitely a pair I think many people kind of gravitated to earlier, you know, or some that particular pair was a pair that kind of grabbed them and thought, I love the trainers, need more, and now we're here, guys. At the moment, what's kind of like your spring rotation? So what kind of trainers are you wearing at the moment that are kind of like, these are my pick up and go to?
So no matter the season, I always have a pair of Air Force Ones, like white Air Force, and I know it's basic, but like, and it always has to be the nice, like the anniversary pair, or like the ambush white pair, but like, because I don't want to wear the ones that aren't nice leather. Like,
I know what you mean. Leather. Oh god,
but I just think they, for my style, they just match everything, and they're always like a go-to that's like sitting out. They're never on the shelf. They're always like there to just like shove on. So they're always a constant for me.
Absolutely.
These that I'm wearing right now, the Martine Rose shots.
I was gonna say, guys, shoes. Amazing.
These I've been wearing so much recently, just because they're like, I wear them out to like dinners and stuff. Like I feel like I like when I'm dressing a little bit nicer.
Yeah,
they make me feel like just a bit more elevated and like
love it.
Considered.
No, because they are such a statement pair.
Yes.
Like I was gonna say, certain pairs you can definitely wear like on a casual one or out to dinner or like, you know, in a smart kind of outfit. But those, like even the way you've dropped it today, absolutely amazing. Like I know those came out in different colours. Was that the only pair you got, or did you get?
This was the pair. Yeah, I really still want to get the black pair. Maybe the white. I don't know, but I wasn't interested in the blue and the bluey purpley kind of.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Yeah.
Like this was the one pair that I saw, and I was just like, this is me as a shoe. Like I've seen like a lot of my work is like my artwork is like very brightly coloured, lots of neon, and so when I saw that, I was like, these are crazy, but I need them.
No, and they are.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wear them with like a understated fit. Like, you can't go overboard with them. So which is quite perfect for me because I actually dress like mostly in black anyway. Yeah, and then my shoes.
And then you put the shoe. Come on. Yeah.
So yeah, these are a really good pair. I just love them. Like they're so sick, and like I love like the weird looks that I get down the street when I wear them.
No, but you know what? And I'm everyone knows me. I'm so big on just everyone just being an individual. Like wear what you want to wear. You know, as long as you feel comfortable, you love what you're wearing, go right ahead. Like I'm not someone that's afraid of bright colours. I know you with art, although I agree, I can dress quite muted in terms of wearing black, but the shoes I can go to the other side of the earth in terms of colours, etc. So no, I absolutely love that. I always tell people like just experiment a bit. You know, like it's not gonna hurt. Just splash a bit of yellow or splash a bit of neon orange. Why not? Like it never hurt anybody.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, absolutely love that. Yeah. Stunning shoes. So what else is in your rotation at the moment?
So the one other pair that I've been wearing a lot recently, which is, I've only got one pair of them, but it's the Clint's I think it's Kita they're called. So it's one of their like chunkier flat based kind of shoes. It's like super flat sole. They're very like a skate shoe, very chunky, very heavy shoe. But honestly the materials and the quality, and obviously he's like an independent brand and he's done so well with it. I just love especially for small feet, like having a big chunky shoe for some reason just puts you into like this really nice proportions. Makes you look, like there's nothing worse than like being a small person and then having tiny little feet. It just looks weird. So like for them, they just like look really good with like a baggy trouser. Or, like they look good with everything, to be honest. But like because they're like a light blue color, they're kind of like really fresh and spring like, and so I've been wearing them a lot as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Titi, obviously I mentioned at the beginning that you had an amazing gallery opening. Obviously you're an artist. You studied art. For anyone that follows Titi, your page is like the colours, the artwork, all of that. I know that you created a brand called Things. Is it called Things? Yeah. So many T's. I literally counted them. There's 10 guys. So many things. So talk about Things. Like how did you come up with that? And what's kind of been like a memorable project that you've worked on so far?
So I mean Things kind of started as the foundations, and it still is very much in its like early days. It started as the foundations for a potential brand where I can sell, because I just wanted to like have something that would encompass me making art but also making potentially clothing in the future, or like sculptures, or like things basically.
Love like it. All in the word.
And it just felt like a really fun word to me, and it also, because it begins with a T, it's like kind of felt like quite a good name for what I kind of do. And then obviously on the other side of that, the reason I kind of called my exhibition Things was because it's around like my obsession with objects, mainly sneakers, but also like collectible toys and like all that kind of world, like grail culture basically, and why humans kind of see things as like parts of their identity almost. Like we all, like us sneakerheads, like that's like a huge part of like who we are, but it's like they're just objects, they're just things. And there's other people who are like massive into like vintage furniture or like collecting toys, or they associate parts of their personality with that. So I just found it like really interesting to kind of delve into, and that was what my whole exhibition was about. Just kind of seeing the wonder of like everyday objects that have such a special place in our hearts. But then obviously, like, I hope to eventually make that a bigger brand,
of course, yeah,
in the future. It's kind of something that I'm just going to slowly work on in the background. I don't really have like a huge time pressure on it at the moment, but it's kind of like the title of like all of the creative projects that I do underneath it. So yeah, I think, I mean, honestly, the most memorable project that I've done so far is the exhibition. Because it's been something that I wanted to do for like 10 years, and like every year I think because I've worked as a creative director and designer, and I've been known for so many things other than being a painter and an artist, I find it really hard in the past like decade to kind of like make people take me seriously as that. So like people will be like, oh, Titi does this, or she does like the Nike projects, but it was never like that I could paint and that I could create actual legit art. Having been rejected from so many galleries over the years, and like just it is such a hard thing to be an artist, and like constantly getting rejected or like people not caring about your work. So like to be able to create that show and put everything that I've been dreaming of into it was just amazing. It was so much fun, and like we got to work, we did got some like really good support from like BAPE, for example, did like an art workshop with them, and it was just like really exciting, really fun.
So do you have any plans, I'm sure, like any plans to kind of do more exhibitions or more kind of galleries in that sense?
Absolutely. Obviously I've just finished the first one, and I'm already thinking about the next.
Of course, absolutely.
Everything is going to be, I know that like my thing is going to be things, so every exhibition is going to be titled things, but it will be like a different category of things. Perhaps like I'm gonna like travel to like different cities and do like a collection of like things from that city, and that's I'm definitely like next time I want to do like sculptures, and I want to do like something bigger this time. So
love that.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely
already
love that.
kicking off in my head.
Love that. So of course we've selected. I'm gonna try. Always gonna try. But just in terms of what's next, is there anything? I always fish for the exclusive. Everyone knows me by now. Is there anything in the pipeline that is coming up that I know sometimes people don't want to mention it? I get it. You're probably going to give me the watch this space, but is there anything in the pipeline coming up that you want to kind of share with us for us to look forward to? I
mean, I definitely have one big project that I'm working on just now. I don't think they've given me an NDA or anything, but it's with Nike and the MLB, Major League Baseball.
Oh, love that.
So I'm not going to say what it is. Okay. Just in case. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal it, but yeah, it's a really fun project.
Oh, amazing.
So that's coming up. It's going to release in June. So yeah, I'm buzzing for that.
Exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Busy times. I love that. And I'm sure, I know you can't reveal too much, but we look forward to when you're kind of working on that project, and all. I'm expecting colour and brightness, even though it sounds like sport, so maybe not, but I know you'll put a spin on it somehow. Sure. Don't worry, we'll be looking forward to that. Titi, thank you so much for coming on episode 2. Guys, we are off to a great start this season, honestly. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Of course, in true fashion, we want everyone to be able to connect, both in the art world and in the sneaker world. Let's all get connected. So a part of that, of course, please do share your socials, all the wonderful socials we have nowadays. Share that with the audience, and make sure you guys follow Titi on all of her socials. So if you just want to share that with everyone.
Yeah, it's Titi Finlay, so it's just two T's and then Finlay, and my website is things.com, and it's things with 10 T's.
Love that. See, guys, remember I said I counted, so 10 T's. Make sure you follow myself, CREPERELLA, on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Make sure you follow the Solekted page on Instagram as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment on the video. Do you agree with this or that, guys? Did we like the answers we came up with today? I think I agreed with you on most of them, but get in the comments and let me know if you agreed with that. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.